Welcome back to Tennessee Morning, 7:45 now the time. There has been a dramatic rise in dog bite cases over the past year in Tennessee, with insurance companies shelling out big bucks in dog bite claims. So what are you liable for if your dog bites someone? Our legal eagle Jim Higgins here joining us with the answers to all of these questions.
Sure.
More than $400 million
Yeah.
shelled out in dog bite claims. Why? Why are we seeing such a big increase?
You know, that's a big question. I think that's probably a big question the insurance carriers want to know. But yeah, almost $500 million last year in these claims. And so there's been some articles on that about what a dramatic rise. And we've seen a bigger rise of it in our office.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I just don't know the answer as to why. I don't know if it's because there's more people in this world, or more people with dogs, or more kids, or what it is. But it happens, and it happens at this epidemic rate. And they can be really tragic cases. You know, it's once a month we see one on y'all show.
Well, maybe it's opportunity. Maybe they're seeing a case and then they want to see if maybe they can get on that. So what are you liable for? If you're a dog owner and your dog goes over next door and bites someone else, what are you liable for?
You know, as a responsible pet owner in our family, you know, the big thing is control.
Yeah.
And you know, years ago, what it used to be is the law was you got one free bite. That was truly the law. And you were not liable until your dog had bitten someone, and then the next person you would be liable for, because you were deemed to have known that dog was dangerous.
Sure.
And then after a while, that the courts and the legislators said, okay, that's a little silly. Some people know if they have a vicious dog or not. And they changed the law in 2007 and said, okay, you're responsible for your dog. If you do not keep your dog confined and under control, and your dog is running at large, then you're going to be responsible. And probably that's truly, you know, what it should be. It's great to have a pet.
What if your dog is confined and someone comes into your yard and gets bit?
Yeah.
That's different, right?
That is different. They carved out exceptions for that. They carved out exceptions for police dogs. They carved out exceptions if the dog is on your property and you didn't know the dog was vicious, you know, then it's not your responsibility. If it's protecting you from a burglar, you're okay.
Sure.
Right?
You hope he is, at least.
You hope he is. But it all comes back to, as so many of the laws do, is although sometimes it doesn't seem about the things we read, a lot of it's just common sense.
Yeah.
And it's, hey, if you've got a dog that's aggressive, and that can be that way, and we see the dog whisperers showing all these things, then you got a duty to keep that dog under control, to protect over it. And I'll tell you, the most tragic cases, you know, we have two right now, they're just hard, and it's children. Children don't know that danger. They can't sense that danger. They walk into someone's yard that has a vicious dog, and it happens because they just see a dog and they want to pet it. And those are hard cases that we deal with, and they're tough cases, and you know, it's hard on everybody.
Sure.
So the big thing is just be a responsible pet owner.
All right, well, if you have any questions for Jim Higgins, you can give him a call at 615-353-0930, or you can always email him there. It's the Higgins Firm. Thank you so much, Jim. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Nick. Good
All
seeing
right.
you.